so good, help you out. Mother. Mars was like, just hanging out?
Yeah.
Alright, how's just hanging out?
Yeah. How's it going, Donovan?
How's it going?
How are you?
Doing good, how are you?
Doing good. How's the week been so far?
Week's been fun. You know, the flight was great. Hotel's amazing. So we're just hanging out right now.
What does it feel like now compared to when you guys came here in 22?
When I came here in 22, I was just a freshman, so I was just taking the experience. I wasn't really playing, so I just kind of like enjoyed California as it is. But now coming here as a playoff game, you know, it's a different level of urgency. You know, when we came here in our freshman, it was the bowl game, so we were here for the week and everything like that. Now we're here, it's just a business trip. So a lot of the bowl festivities are kind of dimmed down, and now it's just playing ball, trying to get to the next round.
When you're there as a freshman and you get to take it all in, does that help you now in your senior year to make sure the moment really isn't too big?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it helps. You know, trying to be in the same environment I was before. You know, the same hotel room. I believe I'm on the same floor of the hotel as well. So it's kind of like all right, I've seen everything. Now it's just kind of like play ball.
What's the roommate scenario for the hotel?
I stay with Tegra Chabola. So he's been my roommate on every away trip, and yeah, it's pretty cool. We get along pretty well.
So what's your relationship been like with Tegra?
My relationship's been good. You know, besides the fact that he uses all the towels. Other than that, it's been pretty good.
Love that. And what have you seen from him throughout this year as he's developed, starting in every game?
Yeah, I feel like every game he's progressed in different ways. You know, obviously coming as a guy as a first-time starter. You know, it's never an easy job, especially at guard. But I feel like he's handled it in the best way. He's improved as much as like we'd like him to do, and he's just been getting better every week.
For you, now that you're going to face Oregon's front for the first time at left tackle, what have you seen from them? How do you think you're going to try and attack them at your position, which you started in for most of the second half of the season?
Yeah. The first time we played Oregon, I was at left guard. Now I'm at left tackle. So it's a different guys you're going against, different body types, different rushers. You know, I just got to execute what we've done throughout the past. Was it 10 days? 10 days? Yeah, 10 days that we've had knowing that we're going to play this team. But yeah, they're a very talented front. They're going to give you a bunch of different looks, a bunch of different fronts, and they shift, move, they slant. So you just got to be on your toes.
How do you approach a three-man front compared to a four-man front?
Yeah, three-man front poses different challenges compared to a four-man front, but that all relies on the communication of the O-line, make sure we're all on the same page to make sure we all execute at a high level.
Awesome. Thanks, Don.
No problem.
What kind of recruiting advice would you give to like high school kids that are going through the process right now?
Recruiting advice, I would just say know where you fit in. I would say sometimes guys get blinded by, you know, flashing lights, and you know, all coaches are going to say you're the greatest thing ever. All coaches are going to say you're going to make the NFL, but you got to find out where you fit athletically as well as academically. You know, you got to find what's right for you. You know, not everyone fits in the same place. I think that's why a lot of guys are transferring around, because they just get blinded by what's in front of them. You just got to find where you're comfortable with. You know, I chose Ohio State because I felt at home for the first time in my visits, and I've loved it since. So you just got to find what you love.
Do you have any funny recruiting stories back in the day?
It's been a minute, huh? Yeah, it's been a minute. It sound old, but funny recruiting stories. Now, I mean, I always like to reference when I committed to Ohio State. I kind of did it abruptly. Like, I visited in 2019 when they played Penn State, and I told my dad then I'm committing to Ohio State. Obviously, a kid from Texas, no one expected me to come up north. But I told my dad, and he was like, all right, let's sleep on it. If you wake up feeling the same way, like, you can tell Coach Day. So I woke up, I went to Coach Day's office, and I remember him asking me, like, hey, like, what are your plans for recruiting coming up? And I was like, well, actually, Coach Day, I'm committing to Ohio State. And he was like, no! He started freaking out, so that was always pretty fun.
Mm-hmm. And if you're stranded on an island, what teammate would you not want to be with?
I would not want to be with I would not want to be with Zin Mahalski. Zen's been my roommate for like 3 years, so I know a little bit too much about Zen. And I'd rather not be stranded on an island with him. No problem. Some good ones.
How are you?
Doing good. Does that say my name?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, I thought I said Cody Simon at first.
Well, yeah, tell me, like, how did you guys make it here? What went into making it to the college football playoff?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of hard work. We went through a lot of ups and downs this season. We won big games, we lost games that we thought we shouldn't have. But at the end of the day, we got to the end destination, which is the college football playoffs. We understand that it's going to be a fight. Every round is and it was a fight the first round. Now it's going to be an even bigger fight this round, going against a great opponent in Oregon. But we just got to execute what's called, and hopefully we can come out with a win.
What improvements have you seen within yourself this season?
Yeah, I mean, improvements I've seen in myself. I had to kick out and play a whole different position than I've had previously. So being comfortable in what I've been doing with that, but just playing with strength and playing with length in my arms, and just believing in what I do in practice, I can put on the field in games.
How many years have you been with Ohio?
4 years.
4 years. What does it mean to you, having been there this long, being able to get Ohio State, to national championship?
Yeah, this program has a history of winning, and it's always a goal if you're an Ohio State athlete to be a part of one of those winning programs. So just trying to execute as best we can on the field, so hopefully we can have one of our banners hanging in the facility.
Can you talk to me about the tradition, the Buckeye, what's it called, Buckeye stickers on your helmet?
Yeah.
In your own words, kind of explain to me, I'm not too familiar with it, just explain to me what that is, how many do you have, and what did it take to get that?
Yeah, so I haven't counted this year's, but in the past, I believe my sophomore year, I had 87. Don't worry, I counted. I made sure. But the history of the stickers is just like if you make a play or if you contribute to a great play, you get a sticker. The stickering system has never been explained to me, but I just know that if I play really hard, I get more stickers than I do if I don't. So it's a huge tradition. I believe it's one of the greatest helmets in sports, because when you see like the half helmet or the full helmet full of stickers, I believe that it's the coolest helmet.
Ohio State helped develop you as a leader?
Yeah, I believe Ohio State helps, obviously develops great football players, but also great young men, because of just the environment we're in. It's a very competitive place. The best people come around from all across the country. I came from Texas, but JT came from Washington, Cody came from Jersey. A lot of guys came from Indiana, other Midwest states, but it's just kind of a place where the best of the best gather, and we try to compete to being able to have the honor to be on the field for the Scarlet and Gray. But all the off-season programs, everything like that, the community support, and the way Columbus supports you, I feel like makes you into a great young man as well as a football player.
How was that transition for you going from Texas to Ohio?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it'd be more of a culture shock because I'm from Houston, and but the only thing different I would say is just there's not a lot of traffic compared to Houston. I mean, the environment's kind of the same. Obviously, the food's different. There's a lot more Southern Creole cooking in Houston that I miss, but other than that, I love Columbus.
How do you feel like Ohio State kind of developed you as a student as well as an athlete?
Yeah, I feel like it developed me as a student. Majority of the women in my family are teachers and professors, so academics comes first in my family. If I wasn't making good grades, my mom would have flew up to Columbus and snatched me up right there. So academics is a huge thing for me, and being able to be a student as well as an athlete is very important.
What's your major?
I major in sports industry.
Do you have a favorite class?
I had a favorite class. It was an English course because I like writing and reading, and so it was one of the English. I forgot the name, but I know the professor was Professor Samad, and he was a great teacher. So, I really enjoyed going to his class.
What's been a memorable moment for you playing for
It's just being able to be around all the guys who share love of football. I could say the games, the ups and downs and everything like that, but it's really just the off-season programs, the weight room and the memories we share in the weight room and everything like that.
Other questions I have. Can I get a headshot?
Yep. Thank you.
Donovan, offensive tackles and cornerbacks are kind of the two positions that are out on the islands all the time by themselves. I guess what kind of mental toughness does it take when you're in one of those positions to just be by yourself and know that the guy across from you is a premier talent and you do what you can, and sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't?
Yeah, I've had this discussion with some of our DBs that tackle and cornerback, you're backing up while the other person's going forward, and you have to be able to react. And in the lineman's case, you have to be able to stop their momentum. In the DB's case, you got to be able to break and be able to break on the ball. But just being able to operate in space and being able to be an athlete is kind of the main thing of those two positions.
What are some of the things that you guys work on to improve, like mental toughness and resiliency and those types of things to help you bounce back from moments that don't go your way and then make sure it doesn't become a habit?
Yeah, you have to have a short-term memory. Coach Fry always talks about not turning one into two. I mean, if you have one bad play, you can't linger on that and make the next play another bad play. Like, sure, the guys are going, especially this game, they're great players. They're going to make their plays, but you got to be able to wipe that off and get to the next play to try to execute best the next play.
Kind of to that point about being on an island, just how different of the world is playing tackle compared to guard? Just how different is that?
Yeah, it's very different. At guard, there's a finite amount of space that the defender can work in, and at tackle, he has all the room in the world to go to work on you. So you got to be able to. We say set to the spot. The spot is where the rush starts. So you got to be able to set to the spot and be able to use your hands, move your feet, and keep your head out of the block to be able to execute the block.
You're kind of thrown into the blender against that blue harder, your first time doing that. You're talking about setting to the spot. Is that kind of like a mental hurdle, to try to get over against that kind of athleticism when your first time doing that? So he got you a few times, which is good points with the good player. What is that like going against that your first time?
Yeah, that was my first time playing tackle, so it's kind of learning as I went. As that whole week was my first time getting in the tackle stance. So yeah, he got some on me, but I just had to trust in what I learned that week, and every week since then I've gotten progressively more comfortable in what I've been doing. But it's just getting more comfortable and getting out of my stance, getting a more comfortable stance to get to the spot.
Have you played tackle at all in your career? In high school?
Yeah, in high school, but I don't think Texas 4A football compares to college football yet.
Obviously, I knew you were going to do whatever's best for the team, but it means a lot for your draft stock as well to be able to do that, to be able to have that tackle experience as well. Did that ever resonate with you? Did that ever cross your mind, hey, obviously I'm going to do this for the team, but it means something for my future as well to make this switch?
I knew that it was a win-win situation for me, but I tried not to think about it too much. I tried to think about if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it to the best of my abilities. I wasn't going to half-ass it. I wasn't going to be like, oh, he got beat, but he's a guard, so it doesn't matter. It was like, no, I want to be a elite level offensive lineman in general that can show off my versatility at a high level. So, I knew I had my work cut out for me, but with other guys like JT, Jack, trying to pulling them after practice, getting more one-on-one rushes in, trying to be comfortable in space is what I was going for.
I know it's not quite apples to apples, but you were thrown into a tough spot, not Penn State League, playing tackle. What advice did you give to Luke Montgomery, knowing he was going to play a big factor in your guys' game against Tennessee? What advice did you give him, as he was kind of getting thrown in the fire as well?
Advice I gave to Luke, I was just like, this is the same game you've been playing since you were a little kid. Now just millions more people are watching it. So don't make it bigger than it has to be. Sometimes a lot of guys can get caught up in the bright lights, and sometimes guys freeze up because of that. Just keeping the main thing, and that's just the guys in front of you, the 11-on-11 football. So, he obviously played a great job, and obviously he had a great step forward in his development. But just my advice to him was just play the same game you've been playing since you were like 5, 6 years old.
Real quick, do you have a preference on tackle or guard? Do you like one better than the other, or just whatever?
I just like playing offensive line. I don't really have a preference.
Could you play center if they asked you to?
I gotta learn how to snap, but I feel like I can do it. Seth always says that center's harder than what it seems. So I was like, just give me to learn how to snap. I can get there.
As you adjusted from playing in the phone booth to playing out wide and having more space, was there a certain kind of rush that was like, it felt different, whether speed, power, or swipe, like one you had to adjust to just because it felt different coming at you from different angles?
Yeah, the speed's different. Obviously at guard, you go against guys who are around like 330. Yeah. Obviously they're athletic, but they're not giving you speed of guys who run like 4.340. So the speed's different. You got to be able to get your hands on these guys a lot. You got to be able to get your hands on these guys in space. This is a lot different at guard. Sometimes they'll run into the center or they'll try to bump into the tackle. But at tackle, like, you're on an island. You're one-on-one with the guy. So just knowing your rusher and knowing your personnel is important.
Is setting to the spot as much about being disciplined and just getting to that spot however you can, like without giving into whatever they're trying to lure you into?
Yeah, sometimes they'll line up in a wide 9 and they're trying to make you jump out to them. Yeah, so they're trying to get you off their spot. So there's a string between the rusher and the quarterback, and they're trying to stay on the string, and you're trying to get in the middle of that string, which is where the spot is. So they might set close to you, trying to make you set out to them, and they'll go back inside because that's what the string is. They're trying to set out wide to you so you get way out, and then there's a two-way go on you. So being able to stay disciplined, set back to the spot to try to go to work there.
What about handling like games and stuff? Has that been different at tackle as well?
Yeah, it's been different. Obviously I was on one end of the game, now I'm on the other. So it's just having trust in the guy next to you. Games are all about staying on level and being trusting in the guy next to you to pass them off with you. Obviously this team does a great job with games, so we just gotta be on our stuff of what we're doing as a line.
Thank you.
No problem.
You didn't go against Jordan Birch last time around. He wasn't available. He is this time. What have you seen out of him on tape?
Yeah, he's a very powerful edge rusher, and he has the ability to throw tackles into the back of the quarterback. He's done it all year, and then just when you think you're about to get power, he'll hit you with hands and be able to swat your hands away and be able to get an edge and stack you and be able to get to the quarterback. So he's a great rusher. Guys going to be making a lot of money here soon, but you just got to be able to trust in your training and trust in your technique.
We didn't hear James Pierce Jr.'s name much in the Tennessee game. I mean, how did you guys really go about, really nullifying his impact?
Yeah, no, obviously he's another great rusher who had a unique skill set, but we just trusted in our training and what we did throughout the week to try to execute it on the field.
You're just moving to tackle. What's several weeks into it, what's been the biggest adjustment for you in terms of playing tackle?
I would just say just operating in space. You go against guys who are, a lack of better words, a much better athlete than you, trying to get an edge, trying to go inside or trying to go through you. So you got to be able to operate in space and be comfortable in space to try to block the guy in front of you.
How important was it to have a game like Tennessee? I mean, you guys had to play well, or you guys weren't going to advance. Just what's your thought about what the offensive line put together now?
Yeah, I mean that's just the story of the playoffs, man. Everybody got to play well if you want to advance. But in terms of a unit, we were able to execute the way we knew we could. But that was last week. This week poses a new challenge. Oregon runs a lot of different fronts: 4 down, 3 down, sometimes even 5 down, and they move and shift out of that, and they have the guys and the personnel to do so. So they throw a lot at you. So it's our job to try to know what's in front of us, communicate as well as we can to try to execute as best for the offense.
Donovan, how would you describe what the offensive line has gone through this year to get to where it is now?
We've been through a lot. We've been through a lot. Starting from fall camp, we had guys sick. I mean, I was out, hurt, and then guys came back and everything like that. But then we had guys hurt. Our All-American center, our Remington Award-winning center got hurt. And then we had Josh Simmons go out at tackle, and he was going to be another All-American. So guys had to adjust. Obviously I had to move out to tackle, but I was the only one that had to make a change. Carson moved from guard to center. Austin Sarabeld went from left and right guard. Luke had to come in, so we're kind of down to like our 8th and 9th guys kind of going here, and so a lot of credit to Coach Fry and the offensive line staff, Mike, Coach Salini, and Coach Drebno. That's been trying to coach guys up to go and win games, but we just had to stay together as a unit. We can't listen to outside noise. Obviously, everyone's a perfect O-line coach from home, but we just had to believe in each other, believe in the guy next to you, and just try to execute on the field.
How does it say? Somebody told me this is like the 7th different lineup you guys have fielded at offensive line. What does that tell you about you guys' resiliency?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it shows resiliency and also versatility. A lot of guys playing different positions. A lot of guys being in positions that initially we didn't think we'd play, but at the end of the day, if we want to win games, we got to play it. So just trying to execute and put the best thing on the field for the team.
How hard is it moving from your left guard to left tackle? For the layman, describe how hard that is. Difficult.
Yeah, luckily I was able to stay on the left side, so it wasn't like left brain, right brain in terms of plays. But guard and tackle, it's a night and day difference. You go against a different rusher. There's a different part of the scheme you're a part of. At guard you go against guys who are 330 to 340 in terms of weight, and then at tackle you go against guys who are 250, 240 and can run 4.3s. So it's a whole different aspect of the game that I had to get used to very fast. So it was different, but at the end of the day, I had guys that helped me along the way. Obviously, we have 2 great edge rushers here with JT and Jack, and then obviously other edge rushers with Kenyatta and Caden. So they helped me a lot in practice and after practice, getting extra work, so I can try to get acclimated as fast as possible.
Are you?
Is that me?
Hello, my name is Donovan, Chief Administrative Officer of the Rose Bowl game. The Rose Bowl Game Scholar Athlete Award was first given in 2019, and it's to the top student athletes in our game for both schools. It's based on academic achievement and community service to each of the participating students. In addition to their individual award, the trophies are 2 trophies that appear in the Tournament of House, the Tournament of Roses up in the football room, and with your name on it. And I'm pleased to announce that Donovan Jackson is our recipient from Ohio State. He won the OSU Scholar Athlete 2021-2022 Big Ten Conference Distinguished Scholar, Academic All-Big Ten honoree. Donovan Jackson.
You totally expected that.
Yeah, totally unexpected. Was not told.
Right. Last question on that string. Are you one of those guys that checks Pro Football Focus about your grade? Do you do that?
When it's good, yeah. sometimes you gotta kind of block it out, because sometimes they obviously Pro Football, they know our stuff, but sometimes they don't know our scheme. So you gotta take it with a grain of salt. But it feels good when you get a good grade, for sure.
Yeah. How do you evaluate that? Because it's just another human looking at another human in a game or a season. How much do you put into it?
Not much. I feel like we have our own evaluating system, and obviously NFL teams have their own evaluating system. Obviously, it feels great when another person says you're doing good, but like most places, everyone has their own opinion. So you just gotta believe in yourself. If my coach says I'm doing good, then I'm like, all right, I'm doing good. Yeah.
And the offensive line question fits in with what Will Howard has said. That he considers this one big second chance. And I told him, I said, your whole season's been a second chance. Michigan, the offensive line, Oregon. Does it feel that way? You guys have bounced back, it seems, all season.
Yeah, with this 12-team playoffs, we've given another chance. You know, probably in the past we wouldn't be in this position we are now, but with this new format, we have a chance to try to obtain one of the goals we came back for, which is winning more games than we had in the past. But yeah, I mean, in terms of second chances, you know, I feel like we've earned this opportunity. You know, we've won hard games. Unfortunately, we've dropped 2 games that were obtainable, but we just got to keep what's in front of us, and the past in the past. We have a chance to, you know, play in the granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl, which is an amazing, blessed opportunity. You know, a great history has been played on that field, so just being able to be a part of that history is a blessing in itself.
Thanks, Donovan.
No problem. Thank you.
Well, first of all, how you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling great. Thank you.
All right. Well, you're already. Have you acclimated to the time change?
Yeah, you know, I had a great sleep. I looked at my phone and it was like 8 o'clock, and I'm like, why am I tired? But I had to realize that we came from east to west, so yeah, I mean, trying to acclimate to the time change. I'm not too worried about that. You know, just get a good rest, already get your body acclimated, and you're good to go.
What's going to be the enthusiasm and the motivation as you step out on the field on Rose Bowl day?
I feel like it's going to be great. You know, the Rose Bowl is called the granddaddy of them all for a reason. You know, obviously growing up in Texas, I see, you know, Vince Young, how he won, and then obviously I'll obviously see Archie and the great things he did. Just being able to be a part of that history is an honor of itself.
Can you give us a
We gotta go.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we're good. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll ship these to you after.
Thank you. I was about to ask.
Yeah. We need them later, unfortunately, but we'll ship them to you guys.